Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a recap of my year thus far. So I'm going to be showing you everything that I have completed in the first half of the year. And I'm also going to talk a little bit on what my colouring goals were in the beginning of the year and what I have managed to achieve. And overall I had one main goal, and that was to be able to grow and work more with my Inktense watercolor paints and grow my skills. So in some ways I've reached that goal, in other ways I still need to keep working on it, but I've been able to color with neocolors a bit more. I've been able to work with Inktense and watercolor paints a lot more, and I'm really pleased that I have found that as a beautiful way to do backgrounds, to increase my coloring, and also just my understanding of those water-based mediums is growing very slowly, but it is still growing. So I'm going to pull these books to the side and I'm going to show you what I've colored over the course of the year. It's a lot of books. So first up is Mythographic Voyage by Rita Berman. Now, we decided as a community that we were going to work through and paint this entire book, or color this entire book. It has been slow going, but we have done a handful of pages, and I'm really pleased that we've been able to do something. I'm hoping in the next half of the year that I will be able to increase the amount of pages that I've colored in here, as well as get more of the color alongs up on the channel so that you can join me. Right, so I'm going to just go from the back of the book. So one of the pages we've colored up on the channel this year is this beautiful one. We decided to use polychromos pencils. So this whole page has been done with polychromos, including the background. I've also used Posca pens, Dovecraft glitter glue, Stardust, Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and Stardust and metallic Sakura gel pens. And yeah, I really love how this page has turned out. That's a whip, but we've already started this one, so that one will come. This one was done last year. Alright, and then we have this beautiful page here, which I did in March, and I started this with polychromos, and I really love how it's turned out. It's got some white Posca pen, some Gamzite Tambi pearl colors, and some Dovecraft glitter glue. And yeah, I think it's a good start. Is that all? I'd hoped I'd done a bit more than just two. But yeah, I haven't been able to get to as much as I'd like, so I want to change that and do a bit more in this book for December. So that is Mythographic Voyage by Rita Berman. And then in Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova, I did one page, and I predominantly focused on Inktense pencils for this page. Now here, yeah, everything except the seahorses and a little bit on the pearls was done. They were done with Prismacolor pencils. Everything else was done with Inktense pencils, including the backgrounds, and some white Posca pen and some Dovecraft glitter glue and gel pens. So yeah, again, I'm really pleased with how I've been able to work with the Inktense pencils. I think I've been able to really deepen up shadows and highlights, and getting quite a smooth transition between my different shades. So the blending is getting there, and I'm managing to keep highlights for highlights. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. And as a watercolor focus this year, I'm really encouraged with the progress that I'm being able to get. So that is Klara Markova's Fairy Touch of Magic. Then in Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Again, I'm just going to go from the back. This was my first page using predominantly Inktense pencils. Now, I use Gamzai Tabby Pearl colors for the moon. I think I used Neocolor 2s for the background, Stick on Stars, and then everything except her skin and her jewelry is Inktense pencils. And then I've used diamond drills on her dress and some Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen, some Sakura gel pens. And yeah, I really, really love how she's turned out. I think it's beautiful and yeah, very, very satisfying to be able to do that. And I also like how I was able to bring some of the moonlight into her dress. So yeah, really, really pleased with how she's turned out. And then I did this page, which I used Inktense pencils, watercolor paints in the background, and Posca pens and a bit of Prismacolors for the bubbles. So again, another one where I try to focus on watercolor mediums, and really like how it's progressed. So yeah, really pleased with how this one turned out. And also that I was able to create like a light source kind of effect going up here. So it's lighter up here and then darker down there. I do really like that. Then here I used watercolor paints in the background, a white Posca pen, but I went over her face with Prismacolor pencils to just try and create her face to be more 3D-ish. I still think I could have developed it a bit more, but it's enough to give you the feel that she's actually looking at you and she's a bit more out of the page than in the page. And this was for the Galaxy white lines. And again, I use watercolor, and I tried something new, which I really enjoyed doing that, just like stepping outside of my comfort zone. Here I also use watercolor for the background, and then I finished the heart with pencils. But again, what I really like is trying the different things with the watercolor, trying to keep things light and not make everything dark. So just really playing around and experimenting. But yeah, I think that is it. So that is all I've done in Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. In Seasons by Hannah Carlson, I've done one page. And here I use Neocolor 2s for the background and as a base. And then I colored everything with Prismacolor pencils. And what I really liked with this one is that I use Neocolor 2s. I found that I didn't like coloring over the Neocolor 2s. It felt slippy and I didn't like that, but I really am pleased that I tried. So yeah, really enjoyed doing this one. So very, very pretty. And white Posca pen for highlights. And that's about it. So that is Seasons by Hannah Carlson. Then in the Mythographic books, in Frozen Fantasy by Fabiana Atanasio, I stepped way out of my comfort zone and I colored this page, which my son randomly selected for me and randomly gave me a color palette for. Again, I used watercolor for the background. I think I might have used Neocolor 2s to for the snow. I can't remember if I used it anywhere else. but I definitely use Neocolor 2s and I used watercolor. So really pleased that I was able to continue using my water-based mediums so that I can keep growing in them and learning about them and just getting different results. So that is Mythographic Frozen Fantasies by Fabiana Atanasio. Then in Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kadambang, I did a buddy color, and here I used alcohol markers and a little bit of ink tints on the lily pads. So what I really liked about this one is stepping out again and trying something new. So keeping myself trying different things and making sure I'm not just sticking to pencils. So for here I did the background in alcohol markers, and then another one of my coloring goals was to do more buddy colors, and I've been able to do 3 buddy colors this year. So this is one of them, and this was done with the lovely Noelle. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I've been able to maintain and do more coloring with watercolors as well as a couple of buddy colors. So that is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kadambang. Let's put that back. In Fragile World, so this is a whip, but here is something that I was trying with watercolor paints to create a swirl. And again, I love that I use watercolor, and I had seen an Instagram reel showing how to create like a swirl effect with water paints. So I wanted to try that with this page, and it's not brilliant, but it is a good step, and it does give you a little bit of that swirly kind of look. So I know it's a whip, but it's again another illustration of stepping outside, trying new things, and practicing my watercolor. Then here I use Neocolor 2s for the background, ink tints for the bear. I think I use pencils for the sky. So this is done with Neocolor 2s, ink tints, Prismacolors, Spectrum Noir Sparkle. And yeah, I followed a color along by My Colorful Country Life for the Aurora lights. And then again, I try to bring some of the lighting from the Aurora lights onto the water and the iceberg, and a little bit on the bears. And I really like the attempt at trying to bring lighting from top to bottom and just keep working on that. So I think that this came out really well. And then I also used this one, which I need to just zoom out. So here I used, I think, ink tints for the trees and Neocolor 2s for the background. And that's why I haven't got a really great gradient here in the background. I lacked transitional colors. So, but overall, I'm really pleased with how it came out. And again, using water-based mediums. So that is Kirby Roseanne's Fragile World. Then in Mythic World by Kirby Roseanne's, I did a buddy color with the lovely Noelle, and if I can just find the page. Oh, they always hide. Like, where are you? No, I think I've gone too far. Ah, there it is. Alright, so here I used a variety of pencils. I think the only water-based medium I did was the background, which was, I think, Inktense. It was either Inktense or Neocolor 2s. Everything else is pencils, Prismacolor and Polys. And then some gel pen and white Posca pen. So yeah, this is one of my favorites for the year. Really love how she turned out. So that is what I did in Mythic World by Kirby Rosens. Then in Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoka Igusa. I attempted watercolors in here, so I used Inktense for the background and the stones. I think on the grass I used a little bit of Inktense, but then it's a mixture of pencils and some just embellishments, white, you know, paint pens, white pen, all that sort of thing, gel pens. So yeah, I really like how this turned out, and I love that I could use Inktense pencils in this book. So that then got me onto this page where I use watercolor in the background, and then I use Black Widows for everything else. But really love that I was able to use watercolor in the background and create such a lovely page. So yeah, really happy with this. And then I used some paint pens for these flowers here, these purple flowers, and around some of the other flowers. So really love how this turned out. So that is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoka Igusa. And then coming back to Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Attanasio. I have got a page in here which I finished. Now this was pearl colors initially. I think I went over it with Inktense, and then I've used gel pen and pencils for everything else, some Posca pen. So I was able to get this one done, and yeah, it didn't turn out too badly. So pleased with this. And then I'd also been experimenting with the bubbles. So yeah, really like how it turned out. So that is Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Attanasio. In Circle of Life by Melpomene Chatsupanagiotu, I was able to finish a page. It was a bit of a long-standing WIP, so this was great progress. There we go. So here I used Inktense as a base for the water, the rocks, and then I used pencils for everything else, Posca pens, some gel pens, and yeah, really pleased with it, and it did come out. It's not my favorite for the year, but I'm just glad it's done. So that is another one added to Melpomene Chatsupanagiotu, Circle of Life. Then we have Creative Haven's Enchanting Fairy Tale Scenes by Marty Noble, and I colored this beautiful page using Prismacolor pencils and some white Posca pen, just to outline the geese or the ducks. I think it's geese, yeah, geese. So yeah, really like how it turned out. Probably also one of my favorites for the year, just because of the color combos and how it all came together. It just looks pretty. So that is Marty Noble's Enchanting Fairy Tale Scenes coloring book. And then I tried a new artist to me, and that is Emily Liederhol Oberg. And in her fairy tales, I did 2 pages. This one up on the channel as a live stream video. So really used Prismacolors for this, and I love how this paper is really good quality. You can use so much on it, and you can layer up for days if you want to. You can just about do anything here. So yeah, really like it. I used some gel pens. I didn't do a background because I didn't know what background to use, so I've left it as is. And then I have this page here, which has got a Neocolor 2 background. And again, I tried to step outside of my comfort zone and do something new in the background. And also try to create like a focal points by not making everything dark. And I found that quite effective. So yeah, learning and growing. Everything here is done with pencils except the background. So really enjoyed that. So that is what I've done in Fairy Tales by Emily Lederhall Oberg. Then I have Jasmine Becket Griffith's coloring book, and I finished this long-standing whip, which I am still editing for you. So it's most of it except the background I did on camera, so I'm editing for you, and you'll get that up as soon as I possibly can. Here I added in a shadow on her hair, and that's slowly starting to open up the idea of creating purposeful shadows. I think my understanding of lighting still needs to grow to be able to do shadows well. But yeah, really, I do love coloring these pages, so this was a lot of fun. Next we have this one, Dress of Storms, and here again I use my Colorful Country Lives color palette, color combos, and I created this page in a different interpretation, and I really love how these colors work together. I love how striking they are. I think it works really well. So yeah, this is again another one of my top pages for the year. Really love how she's turned out. So easy, so successful, and just so much fun. And I use Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on her wings, white Posca pen, and some gel pens, and then mainly used Prismacolor pencils. So that is Jasmine Becket Griffith coloring book, A Fantasy Art Adventure. Then we have Drumond Vanger Tomislav Tomic. And here I used Inktense pencils as a base for just about everything. I used a lot of gel pen. I did color over things with pencils. What I really loved with this is that I started to play with where do I use gel pens, where don't I, where, you know, what is fine enough to get away with a gel pen, when do I use pencils, practicing Inktense on this paper because it works really well. And yeah, I used some pearl colors, Gamsite Tambi pearl colors. Not my favorite page, but I do love that I'm again trying different things and learning. So then I also have a page somewhere. So this page is got Inktense in the background, and I just absolutely fell in love with the fact that I could use Inktense pencils on this paper, and it's actually gone and saved me a lot of time in many ways. So this is one of my favorite pictures. Really love this page, and again I was able to bring out some of the lighting, which is really cool. I used a whole lot of gel pen in some places. So yeah, really pleased with how this turned out. So that is what I've done in Drumond Vanger by Tomislav Tomic. And finally we have Romantic Country by Erie. And this is a page that I'm hoping to complete well, this is a book I hope to complete in the near future. I'm hoping to use a lot more gouache and pencils. I think that could be a lovely mix. So here I've got a buddy color I did with Colored by Maya, and yeah, I used pencils for all of this and really enjoyed the process. There's a bit of gel pen and Posca pen here and there, and some gold foil around. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. Then we have this page, which is pencil work for the swans, and then the castle. Everything else is gouache paint, and I just love how it turned out. Really pleased with how it turned out. It's up on my list of favorites. And then here I've used gel pen for all the accents on the castle, just to kind of show like a shimmery sort of effect from the moonlight. But yeah, really enjoyed doing this page. So that is all that I have colored for the year so far. Okay, so here were my Jan to June 24 goals. Color 6 romantic country pages. I have completed 2, but technically I have got a couple of whips. Let me show you my whips. So I've shown you all my completed pages for the year. Now I'm going to go in and show you my coloring goals. So I have got this page as a whip, which is a kitchen page. I need to finish it. So yeah, I didn't hit my 6 romantic country pages within Jan to June, but I started it on. So I didn't hit that goal. Another page that I started is further back. So I've got this double page spread here. So yeah, it started these 2, so that's 3 pages. And then I have this page. So yeah, I completed 2 and I've got 4 pages unfinished. But yes, I did not complete that goal. Use Inktense more. I definitely did that. Watercolor tutorials per month. No, I didn't. I did follow a handful of tutorials in February and followed those, but then it stopped. Complete and color a page in Tomislav Tomic. Well, I completed 2 pages and I have a double page spread whip. I haven't finished the coloring checklist challenge. I gave up. Color Kirby Roseanne's, Hannah Carlson, and oh gosh, now I don't know. Right, so I don't remember who the CH is for, but I definitely did color Kirby Roseanne's and I've colored Hannah Carlson. So I have probably completed about half of my goals. So it's not bad, it's not brilliant. We'll get there. I think I'll do over here probably more like September to December or something like that. I'll create some goals. So let's see my 2024 goals. So complete Aries Romantic Country 1. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Follow more tutorials. Color alongs, I haven't done much of that. Color more with other pencil brands. So in my Mythographic and Kanoko Gusa books, I've been using a bit more of the Black Widows. I use Inktense and watercolor a lot more, which I have done. Color Hannah Carlson monthly. I don't know if I've been coloring her monthly, but I have been keeping up with a bit of frequency there. So yeah, I think some of them I'm hitting and some of them I'm not hitting. So yeah, those are my my goals and the progress that I've done, and my recap for the year. So let's have a look and see how many pages did I color this year. All right, so we're going to just go backwards. So I did 1, so I'm counting more completed pages, 2, I think there's just 2 in there. That one last year. And I need to get back to dating my pages. It really helps. Okay, so 2 here, so that's 2. That's my whip. So this one is 3. And this one is 4. That makes 5. And there was 1 in here, so that would be 6. Oh, where'd it go? So 6. 7. 'See, I know where it's at the back of the book. So it was the crown page. Ah, yeah, there we go. So 7, 8. 1 in here, the lighthouse. 9, so this one is 9. This one makes 10. $11, $12. This makes 13. 14, 15, 15, 16, 'Buddy' in here makes 17. 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So 25 coloring pages complete in 8 months. Well, there you go. That is what I have colored. That is an update on my coloring challenges and my, well, not my challenges, my goals, and all my completed pages for the year thus far. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like, comment, and I will see you in another video. Until next time, everyone, happy coloring and take care. Bye for now.